Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in the lower tiers, where the power's low, but the battles are fierce. Continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So join me as I move on to the 13th match of Round 1. Our combatants this time will be Shadow Gallad YT against Bushmaster, although the latter is called Venobrine in this. Like many we've seen so far, I know nothing about these players. Their skills shall be witnessed here today by myself and you, the viewer. If you happen to like the video, I humbly request you clicking the like button, as well as a quick click of the subscription button and the bell, if you wish to be notified of later uploads, of course. Working together, we can bring even more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Venobrine versus Shadow Gallad YT. Game 1. Begin, let's play. Lead metagame, Tentacool coming from Venobrine, and Shadow Gallad sending out Charmeleon. Alright, so we know the game here. Tentacool can, or Tentacles in this case, can one-shot Charmeleon with Hydro Pump. With 100 special, and Charmeleon being fire type, yeah, also stab from Tentacle's water typing. Okay. Charmeleon can do one of several things, actually, because it actually outspeeds Tentacool. We know this. So, it can either go for a slash and bank on Hydro Pump missing, unless Venobrine decides to wrap, which is something we have seen throughout the metagame so far, through several matches, actually. Whereas Charmeleon can also fire spin if they want to risk it. It's not too bad of a chance, meaning they can pivot out to something else that can threaten Tentacool as a, like, say for speed, like Voltorb, which leads to counterplay, of course, by Venobrine if they happen to have an Ivysaur or a Rhyhorn to switch in. Let's see. Okay, we're going for this fire spin from Shadow Gallad. Now, is it going to be immediate switch or... Okay, let's see. I'm going to keep that fire spin going. Just chipping away. Is Gallad trying to bait Venobrine into switching into something else, maybe? That's possible. Fire spin misses. Hydro Pump. There we go. Charmeleon is down. That was a bit risky, relying so much on fire spin. Voltorb is coming out, and Rhyhorn is doing the same. Thunder Wave coming in. Now, this is what I was talking about before. Rhyhorn is a complete check to Voltorb, outside of Voltorb, say, having Toxic, which, admittedly, is not something we've seen yet. Although, we've seen, I think it was a Golbat with Toxic, like, earlier on in the rounds. I could be wrong, maybe I'm misremembering. But I think that was something that we had seen. But moving on, yeah, a quick change to Ivysaur EQ. There we go. Does quite a bit. That's a 3-hit KO for EQ, and that does a ton of damage to Ivysaur. Tentacool is going to come in, and what are we going to see? Sleep Powder? Nope. Leech Seed. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. So we have seen Leech Seed before. And, much like before, this is... I get the idea. I get the idea behind it, but Leech Seed in Gen 1 is just not that good. I think in later gens it does like 1/16 of health. But in this gen, I think it's like 1/8. 1/8 health. Or maybe I've got those backwards. It's been a while since I've actually looked into this. But, sorry for snapping. The issue here is Leech Seed is just not... It doesn't heal enough. It really doesn't. And Ivysaur is... Is this Blizzard range? I'm kind of curious, if I want to be honest with you. Okay, so I have a plugin now, thanks to the Smogon RBY Other Tiers forum, which I will have a link to down in the description, and I got some imports for the damage calculator that now allows me to basically look at the instantly for mons. Let's see, sleeper. Okay, so either one works, I suppose. 58. I'm gonna go for 58 health. Blizzard is a guaranteed KO. Is a guaranteed KO. Let me check something. Okay, so Tentacle comes in, gets seated. Yeah, Blizzard would have taken Ivysaur out, so that was a good exchange. There comes the Blizzard. And it brings it up to 50%. And a substitute comes out from Shadow Gallant. I keep pressing pause, and it's not working. Or maybe I'm doing something. And, okay. Meowth comes in, gets hit by Blizzard, bringing it up to 50% health. Substitute coming in, negative 25. And Hydro Pump comes down, and Leech Seed is healing Meowth. Maybe it could get another 2 substitutes, but if it's banking on Tentacool, or Tentacles rather, to miss something, most Tentacool run Surf, and that's 100% accurate. So that doesn't seem like a winnable strategy, and Surf will be able to take Meowth out. Yeah, here it is. Pretty handily. No, we're going for a Suicide Slash into Tentacle, which I'm assuming is going to be switched out. Here comes Golbat. Nope, it's going to be sacked by Venobrine. Getting a little bit of damage, just 99% now. And Voltorb coming in. There's not a very good set of mons here that could be switched in. Honestly, probably the best would be Ivysaur, I think, because then it can't be put to sleep in return. Granted, we don't know if Venobrine has a Ivysaur themselves, so that is a thing. But I don't think Golbat would benefit. Well, obviously it's not going to benefit from it. But apparently Galad is going to have Golbat take it. Confuse Ray coming in. Voltorb has the highest speed in the tiers, so even Golbat and Meowth, who are at base 90, Voltorb's base 100 just outdoes it. A switch! Hold on. Okay. So Voltorb gets switched out for Charmeleon, and Galad makes a switch into Ivysaur. That is a very, very well-timed switch by Venobrine. Oh dear. That was actually very well done. And now Galad is on the back foot, and yeah, they're going to have to switch to Tentacle. I was going to say Fire Spin, but Fire Blast would have taken Ivysaur out. That was a good switch, because Tentacle doesn't take very much. 100 special in Gen 1 means both 100 in attack and 100 in defense, because special is not split in Gen 1. It's just a base defense and attack stat, which is very, very good for some Pokemon. Tentacle, besides being resistant, is going to take Fire Blast fairly well. In comes Meowth, and opposing Tentacle cannot move because of Fire Spin. That is trap switching, ladies and gentlemen. And Hydro Pump misses, and Tentacle is just going to be sacked. So I'm going to assume the Voltorb comes in. Yeah? No, apparently Galad saw the writing on the wall and just decided to forfeit. That's fair. That's fair. Golbat was paralyzed. Voltorb, I mean, is completely blocked by Rhydon, and Ivysaur is just not going to be able to tank all the mons here. So, yeah. Good game to both players. Let's move on to play 2. I did have the reset up for both of these, mainly because I actually saw them a little bit, because I was curious about something, but I played it back. I didn't get to see too much on this, but, I mean, just a forethought, I suppose. Alright, so lead metagame. We're going to go for Charmeleon and Tentacool once again. And yeah, that's the same one as last time. Now, Tentacool is considered the best lead. There's not really much to say at this point that I said for game 1. Charmeleon does have some options, but Tentacool should always just be clicking Hydro Pump. Even if it's switched to something else, it's just going to do a ton of damage. Now, one could make an argument that Blizzard could be used as well, just on the off chance that Ivysaur is switched in to take a Hydro Pump. The reason is because Charmeleon, despite being a fire type, does not resist ice type attacks in Gen 1. There is an argument for that, I suppose. It doesn't do nearly as much damage. Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Okay. So, yes. Alright. So, well, let's get that at 100%. There we go. And we're going to take a look at Blizzard and Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump, like I said, KOs. Blizzard only does, at most, 54.8% at maximum. Obviously, if it crits, that's a guaranteed OHKO. So, right. Yes, on the high, it's got like a 41% chance to OHKO. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Going from here. I mean, there is an argument to that. Most would probably just go for Hydro Pump, which is fair, to be 100% honest. Let's see. Because, I mean, that is a guarantee. If it hits, of course, both Blizzard and Hydro Pump are not 100% accurate. And that instant OHKO is just far more tantalizing than a possible chance to hit an Ivysaur on the Switch. So, here we go. Well, speaking of Ivysaur, there we go. And are we going to see Hydro Pump? Yes. Okay. So we are going to see an immediate switch to Charmeleon, and Sleep Powder does come down, but it does miss. This is something we've seen a lot, where Sleep Powder winds up just hitting the Charmeleon because it's a predictable switch. Let's see. No. Gosh dang it, I hit the pause button on the recording. Alright. So we are going to see a counter Charmeleon come out. Fire Blast is hit. There is no burn, obviously, because Charmeleon is a fire type. The way it works in Gen 1, added effects such as burn, paralysis, poison do not work if the attack is the same type as the one receiving the attack. So that's the reason why normal type Pokemon cannot be paralyzed by a Body Slam, because they're normal, it's a normal type attack, so paralysis does not work on them from that, but you can still paralyze them as, say, Thunderwave. Alright, so we're going to see a Swords Dance coming out. We've seen a few of these, and Counter comes out, and this is something else we've seen by quite a few people, actually, a few matches. Counter is, it's a bit of a mixed bag, in my opinion. Like, for one, it just allowed free setup by Charmeleon here, by Vin O'Brien here. Now, to be fair, the attacks that Charmeleon is going to benefit from its raised attack stat now set off counter. So Vin O'Brien has to be very, very careful here. Very careful. But now counter has been shown, so Vin O'Brien can play around it for sure. Okay, gonna be a quick another Swords Dance. Okay. Okay, with I'm curious. Okay, so plus 3 attack? Is that? No, it'd be plus 4, wouldn't it? Plus 4 attack. We're gonna go. I'm assuming for slash here would be the. Well, let me see. Uh, 7U offensive. No, hold on. Not 100% sure how to. Okay, something is not working here, guys. I'm not getting anything, actually. Well, slash is the only move, and we're gonna go for plus 4. The hilarious bit, though, is that slash has the tendency to it crits. It has a very high chance of critting. So, actually, Charmeleon has a base 80, right? So it actually has a pretty high chance to crit. That would mean that Swords Dance with slash would not be a good thing. So maybe Body Slam is what we're looking for? Let's try it. Body Slam. Then we're going to do a Voltorb. 7U Calc. Alright. Body Slam is a guaranteed 2-hit KO with plus 4 attack. So, we got 2 options here. Charmeleon stays in and gets paralyzed and goes for an attack. It gets switched into Rhyhorn, which we have seen Vin O'Brien have. Yeah, in their last match. Now, this could be a different team, admittedly, so that may not be 100% a possibility. Actually, they did not have an Ivysaur, okay. Because that is something we actually did learn in the interview with Gastly's, or Gastly's. Patent pending. Patent pending on what source you're going from. That they ended up using Ivysaur with Rhyhorn to bait out a certain Pokemon, which is actually pretty cool, or to hide the fact that they have a particular Pokemon, because if you have Ivysaur, oftentimes you would not carry Rhyhorn. That's a pretty, in-depth strategy, and I happen to love that about these types of games. So, is that what we're going to see? Are we going to see a Rhyhorn? Sorry for taking up the time. Okay, no explosion? Explosion. I mean, it deals a ton of damage to Charmeleon, don't get me wrong. I'm not entirely sure about that, because had there been a Rhyhorn, that would have tanked that massively. But there wasn't a switch. I'm not entirely sure what to think about this move, if I want to be honest with you. I'm going to assume I'm curious. Meowth's coming in. So Charmeleon is at a disadvantage because the Meowth is 90 base speed, so Charmeleon is pretty much boned if it doesn't get switched out. And whatever's going to be switched in is going to be taking a lot of damage. It's going to be switched into Tentacle? What? Okay, Tentacles is... Okay, it's being sacked. Alright, so what's being switched in? Voltorb. Oh, okay. Okay. So Voltorb is getting switched in. They didn't want it to get damaged upon the switch. So, but it makes me wonder, what else do they have? Honestly, because... I mean, a Rhyhorn would have tanked Slash. It would have been Bubble Beam. I mean, Voltorb's gone for Shadow Gallet, so... I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I guess we'll have to see the rest of their team. But Ivysaur is coming in. Thunder Wave is coming down. Which, I mean, that's pretty much what you're expecting against a Meowth, because if Meowth is paralyzed, it's pretty, well, not useless, but definitely in a very, very bad spot. I think it's the same with Tauros and OU, so there is that. Now, Ivysaur, because it is paralyzed, there are some interesting strategies that can come out, and we, once again, have Ghastly's thank for this. That Ivysaur, because it is paralyzed, it can now block sleep. Now, to be fair, we have not seen an Ivysaur for Venobrine in this game or the last game. Now, to be fair, it could have been their last Mon, but so far we have not seen one. So sleeping does not seem to be their strategy currently. Thunder Wave support, however, is though. I'm assuming maybe that's to facilitate Charmeleon into sweeping, possibly. I don't know. But Ivysaur is coming in, and we're gonna see Flash. Okay, that's a first, actually. At least to my knowledge, that's a first. I mean, I've actually talked about this on the forum before, because if you're not running, say, Toxic for Rhyhorn, which, to be fair, Toxic is a bit of a coin flip here, because 3 of the biggest Mons in the tier happen to have a secondary poison typing, and obviously, like I said before, and the way this works is that Toxic does not work on poison types, like, period. Whereas some moves, say Thunder Wave, can actually paralyze electric types. It doesn't actually work for poison. Unless you're Beedrill with Twin Needle, and then you can poison a poison type, which is quite funny. And anyway, Flash is a very interesting move, mainly because it kind of plays around that. If you happen to flash something on the switch, if you're not going for Thunder Wave, and you catch, say, a Rhyhorn, Earthquake is lessened. I can't remember the exact accuracy loss, if I want to be 100% honest with you. But, probably need to look that up later. But, say you have a flying type Pokemon, such as Golbat, and Rhyhorn comes in, well, Rock Slide is, which is already very inaccurate, is even less accurate. It's an interesting tech choice, and I happen to really like it. So, let's go on. Sleep Powder coming in, which is funny. Sleep Powder is already inaccurate, so Flash actually does not help here. Well, okay, it does help, but it doesn't help the Ivysaur. It doesn't help Galad. Okay, we're going to see a switch to Charmeleon, but it gets put to sleep. Okay, so much for the inaccuracy. But we're going to see Meowth come out. Now, had Charmeleon not been put to sleep, Ivysaur would have had to switch out anyway, because this is KO range for Fire Blast. But Meowth is coming in. there's the flash. Sorry, I wanna check something here. Okay, so it's going to be a double switch after the sleep right here. Yeah, Meowth comes in, or Meowth's valuable. Yes, it is a time switch here. I can't remember the exact phrasing for that, but both players have switched in their Meowths. So now it's going to be a speed tie battle. Got a slash from on Gallad, and one on Venobrine. Who wins the tie? That's going to be Gallad. Alright. That said, Gallad's Meowth is currently injured, and Voltorb is coming in. A quick switch to Ivysaur. Is there going to be a Thunderwave block? No, it's a Thunderbolt. Okay, so they wanted to go for the damage. And Flash coming in, but it looks like it misses. But Ivysaur is paralyzed. And once again, we see another Flash. I'm kind of curious about that. We saw this the last game. So I shouldn't be surprised. But are we going to see a switch? I'm curious. Oh, there we go. Sleeping Charmander is coming out, but it's going to be immediately hit by a crit body slam. Wait. Did that crit matter? Alright, so we got the Leech Seed. Sorry, folks. I'm really curious at this point. 36%. Alright. So we're going to bring you down to 36. We're going to go for Ivy. We do know it's a sleeper. And it has Body Slam. Okay. Alright. No. Actually, that crit actually did matter, because it only does 23.8%, so it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO. That is pretty lucky. Now, granted, Charmeleon is asleep, but, I mean, it's good nonetheless. Charmeleon is definitely taken out, so, and even with the accuracy down. In comes larger Bulbasaur, that's funny. Alright. From Venobrine. So they do have an Ivysaur in this one. So it makes me kind of wonder if that really was their last mon. Wait, is this like the same team? I mean, if it is, we haven't seen Rhyhorn yet, which is fair, I suppose. So, larger Bulbasaur coming in. I still find that funny. Cute. Alright, but Tentacle is switched in. So, turn 18. Charmeleon going down. In comes Ivysaur. And then we're going to switch to Tentacle from Gallad. And a Swords Dance coming out. I mean, I'm assuming, like, sleep powder, right? Like, that's a general thing, right? Now, there is no crit. Blizzard does a ton of damage, though. It is a 2-hit KO. But sleep does come down. Are we going to see a switch to... No, it immediately gets woken up. And Ivysaur actually does quite a bit of damage. Voltorb being switched in. Blizzard. No freeze. Alright. And Tentacle is going to be sacked. Okay. So the question is, what's going to be switched in its place? Is it going to be Ivysaur? No, Charmeleon. Okay. So, we know it has counter. Let's go for... Okay. So, let me see if I can get this working again. 7U Calc. Alright. So, we're going to go for Volt here. and it's 56%, yes. And this Charmeleon is at 77%. That's what we will go by. There we go. Okay. So, if this Voltorb has Explosion, it has a pretty high chance to KO. What do we have for Charmeleon? 40, like the highest damage it can do is with Slash? Okay, so let me put Slash on a crit. Which, I mean, it still doesn't do enough. Still doesn't do enough. Okay. Okay, so it does read it as a critical hit. Just a pure critical hit. Okay. So it does 42% at maximum, which isn't enough. The highest damage it can do at maximum is 51.2% with Fire Blast. So, Thunder Wave? No, we are going for Explosion. But it does not pick up the KO. Okay. So we have Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn is on the team. Okay. So, yeah, at that point, Ivysaur was the last Mon. They just didn't get to show it. Alright. So that's cool. That's cool. Ivysaur and Rhyhorn on the same team. Are we going to see a sack here? No, we try for a Fire Spin, but it does miss. Substitute coming down. Okay. Okay. I get the point there. They pretty much figured that Charmeleon would switch. Just, I don't know. I get the idea. But Charmeleon is very, very low on health. That said, I can kind of understand. I can understand the pivot play. I can try to whittle down their health a little bit. Earthquake does come out. Charmeleon does go down. Ivysaur coming in. No, it's Golbat. Okay, so it is immune to Earthquake. Rock Slide is still an issue, though. We're going to see a Confuse Ray, most likely. Mega Drain. Okay, well, ignore me. For some odd reason, I'm always someone who wants to use Confuse Ray on mons like these. But Mega Drain is also good. Rock Slide coming down, and it crits. Okay, okay. Well, down goes Golbat. So, yeah, this is just game, isn't it? Yeah. So, Gallade has Meowth. Tank is at 18%. Bubble Beam finishes off. And Large Bulbasaur is dealt with quite nicely. Because an Ivysaur has to be pretty high health to actually check a Meowth. Now, if it actually had more health, it might... Venobrine might have been able to get the win against the paralyzed Ivysaur, but in this case, Gallade ended up winning the day. So we're going to move on to Game 3. So, once again, let's begin. Lead metagame, Charmeleon and Tentacle. Okay. So, not really much to say here. We will play. Oh, a quick switch to Ivysaur. In comes the blitz, and it's a crit! Oh, it's a crit. That was very, very well done by Venobrine. I mean, I talked about that earlier. And we have... I'm sorry, I decided to come back to this one right quick. Because so far, Shadow Gallade has been, except in the first battle, admittedly, the first battle they used Fire Spin. Yeah, there we go. But as of last battle, a quick switch to Ivysaur ended up becoming a pretty predictable, or it was a good read, basically. They figured, hey, he's probably going to do the same thing again. I might as well try to get the most damage I can on the switch. And again, Blizzard actually does about half damage at most to Charmeleon because it doesn't resist. Not at all. Fire does not resist Ice in Gen 1. So Ivysaur does go down. And Meowth comes in. So, okay, Tentacle is not switched out. It's going to do 33% health, down to 30% health. And Meowth is hit by Hydro Pump. Had that crit, Meowth would have gone down. But it barely survives. Tentacle is going to be sacked. So what does this mean? Who's going to be coming out, I wonder? Charmeleon? Voltorb. Okay. So here's the question. And here's the question. What's going to happen now? Is Meowth going to be sacked? Or is there going to be a switch? Let me see here. Sorry for the incessant clicking. We have not seen a Rhyhorn for Gallade, I do not believe, yet. Let me be 100% sure on that. No, we have not seen a Rhyhorn. So, at this point, just a Pokeball could... and Ivysaur's gone, too. So his only resist is gone as well. Oh dear, so whatever Voltorb hits is going to be taking damage or being Thunderwaved. So, okay, Charmeleon is coming in. Thunderbolt coming down. Thunderwave? No, Explosion, and it gets the crit! This time around, taking out Charmeleon. That is kind of big, actually. Charmeleon is a decent pivot. It's one of the best mons in the tier outside of Meowth and Tentacle. Now, and Golbat. If you want to go for like a big four, actually, they had a discussion in the Discord the other day about this. So, there is that. Now, with that done, who are we going to see out? Venobrine actually has Voltorb gone. Okay, so we got Meowth. Are we going to see... No, we're going to see Golbat coming in. Alright, so Confuse Ray is an option. We could see Takedown, possibly. Okay, it's going to be Confuse Ray. Pretty standard. Champ decided to say hello. Anyway.
Hello.
Alright, Tank is going to be switched in, so Rhyhorn is taking the brunt of the damage from Meowth, after it got confused, which is... it's a coin flip, 50-50, so... But Rhyhorn is coming in, it's going to take that damage. Mega Drain? Oh. Okay, we're going to see a switch to Large Bulbasaur, and Mega Drain comes in. It does get a critical hit, but it doesn't really do much. But I'm kind of wondering, is Bulbasaur going to stay in? Yes. Sleep. We sling asleep. Yes, we do. Okay, Golbat is now asleep. And Meowth is being switched in. Golbat could be switched out for something else, but what would it switch to? I wonder. Because so far, there's not... Well, Gallade has used Voltorb. So, possibly that? No, he's going to keep Golbat in. Alright. So, Golbat is kind of tanky. It's one of the tankiest mons in this game to neutral attacks. But it's still going to take a lot. Gallade's just going to try to burn out the sleep turns. And it does wake up! It does wake up! Okay. And Hyper Beam crit! Wait. Hold on. I have to check this. And I've probably checked this before. Okay, yeah, so we got that, and Meow. 7 Calc. Okay, so we're gonna put you down to, well, hold on. 87%? Yes, okay. 87. And Hyper Beam. The crit mattered because it does a max of 68.5%. It's a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So Gallad lucked out with the crit, which, to be fair, Golbat does actually have a pretty decent crit chance in this tier, in this game. So that's actually very good, because that's one less Mon to deal with Gallad's Meowth. And Voltorb's actually gone, so nothing actually outspeeds so far that we are aware Meowth. I'm assuming Charmeleon is their last Mon for Venobrine? I don't know. Okay. So, Golbat did some work there. Actually, that makes me wonder if Hyper Beam didn't crit, and Charmeleon is the last Mon, alright. What were they going to do after that? Like, if it did a ton of damage, which I'm assuming was the whole point, like, to do from there, they were basically going to be in KO range. Voltorb could have come in, for sure. Now, my guesstimate, the fact that we haven't seen Voltorb yet, might be because Ivysaur and Rhyhorn, who Venobrine has brought through all their games, I can only assume for the first one, because we didn't see it, I can only assume Voltorb's being kept in the back because of these two. Or mainly just because of Rhyhorn. So, okay, Double Edge is coming down. Golbat's going to be sacked. Yep, in comes the Body Slam. A Tentacle coming out. Fire Spin hits. But this is... Okay, so Venobrine is literally having to bank on Fire Spin hitting a ton to the point where Charmeleon can actually outspeed to take out Tentacool. If Fire Spin misses, Tentacool can fire off a Hydro Pump, and if it hits, Body Slam. What? What? Body Slam. I mean, I guess they were going for the paralysis, but I mean, you'd have a better chance to use Fire Spin, right? Because paralysis is only 33%. Nothing outspeeds Tentacool, so either Hydro Pump or Blizzard would have to miss. That's a very gutsy play, and it did not pay off. No? Hydro Pump coming in? Yeah, that was a gutsy play by Venobrine, but from here... Oh, Meowth's being switched in. Sleep Powder does miss. Slash. Huh. I'm kind of curious about that, if I want to be fair. Hold on. 66%? We're going to go for 7U Sleeper. Okay. And we're going to go with... let's see. 7U Calc. Got Blizzard here. It has a 64.1% chance to KO with Blizzard. It's not 100%, so Meowth being switched in there I can kind of understand now, because I honestly was curious. And I see. Okay, so Meowth was switched in, but they had to basically bank on the fact that Sleep misses, because Voltorb's the last mon. I would have to I'm 100% sure on that. Well, 99.9% sure by this point. So this was gutsy, because either they had to rely on the 64.1% chance to get the KO and Tentacle not get slept, because had that not happened, Tentacle could have been slept. Meowth could have taken out Ivysaur, to be fair, but unless they crit Bubble Beam, Rhyhorn was not going to go down. And because Voltorb is in the back, yeah, this was a calculated risk, admittedly, because Meowth comes in, does damage, does the slash. The Sleep misses, but had that actually hit, yeah, that would have been painful. They would have to rely on the Blizzard anyway. Yeah, so because of this, Tentacle actually has the guaranteed now. It does hit. I was going to say if it doesn't hit. If it hits. And Rhyhorn coming in, and Hydro Pump hits, and down goes Rhyhorn. Congratulations, Shadow Gallad YT. You will be moving on to the winner's bracket, while Venobrine will be knocked down to the LB with their first elimination. That was a tight game at the end. That really was. Very, very close. Gosh dang it. That was very close. Because had that gone wrong, Shadow Gallad would have been in a lot of trouble if Blizzard hadn't been able to pick up the KO on a crit. Well, not a crit, but on the high roll. So yeah, that was very good. That was a very good battle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't plugged this in yet, I don't think. But if you want to check out 7U, if you want to meet the players, if you want to learn the game, I will have all the necessary links down in the description for the Other Tiers forum, the official 7U forum on Smogon. Sorry, my brain decided to tap out there. Not really anything new. I will also have the resource page. Well, from the other tiers 7U page for Smogon, you can actually find all those other links for the resources, the mon stats and whatnot, the speed tiers and what have you. Also, the replays. If you want to check them out yourself, hey, go check them out. I mean, I'm just cataloging. I'm just archiving them for video, and reacting to them. From there, I'll also link Big Yellow's video, because I've basically done that for every video at this point. Because, that's how I got into 7U myself, by watching that. Alright, so, like I said, all the necessary links will be down in the description. Also, a link to the RBY Discord for Smogon. And come down to the 7U chat room. You can find people to battle, you can get some information, you can talk, talk shop and whatnot. I think I've rambled on enough. At any rate, folks, I hope you have all enjoyed this, and I shall see you all later. Until next time, take care. Bye!